Hello. Welcome to Lori's Classroom Stories and Crochet.
Hi there, it's Lori, and I'm here with a family story. I've been going to the doctor a whole lot. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But I'm going to tell a really funny story about my youngest daughter going to the doctor when she was, 6 or 7 years old. Went to the doctor. She was, this is important information, she was actually, participating in soccer at the time. So the doctor was asking, because she has a tripping issue like me. I trip over things, whatever. So the doctor was, checking all the things for her regular annual appointment. And she says to my daughter, "Have you ever passed out?" My youngest daughter thinks, well, there was this one time when my sister farted in my face. Yep, she was dead serious. She thought that made her pass out. I could tell the doctor did everything she could to not actually laugh out loud. The doctor said, I've never heard of that before. But yes, my youngest daughter thought she passed out from her sister farting in her face. So, good times with little kids. They're the best. So, I'm here for 2 reasons. I'll give some update on crochet stuff real quick. I made for the SRO at my now 16-year-old stepdaughter for her SRO, because he's been really helpful with her student resource officer. Anyway, I made a thin blue line hat. This is a bag-a-day pattern, and then I just added the blue line in there. This is the bean stitch beanie, I think is what she called it. I'll link it. And I used a really thick yarn for this. This is kind of a regular 4-weight. I think this is a 5 or 6 weight, 5 weight probably. Anyway, I'll check that and I'll make sure to list it below. But yeah, I made the thin blue line hat. Another bag-a-day crochet pattern I'm working on is the hexagon. Can't think of the thing right now. The hexagon sweater she just did with that one stitch. Not the harlequin. Herringbone. There it is. Okay, so this is how it is so far. I'm doing black on the outline. Basically, I ran out of this. This is being made for my sister. I ran out of this really awesome purple, and it doesn't exist anymore. This purple with the metallic. It's kind of a pink metallic going through there. Anyway, I love it. It's beautiful. But I didn't have enough, so I had some leftover of this. So it gives a really cool design on the back where I extended it, and then I'm outlining it in black, working on the sleeve right now to reduce the sleeve down. My sister is, I think, 2 inches taller than me and has much longer arms. So, but when I get that finished, I will show that. Still working on the dragon. I haven't gotten back to the dragon in a while. But he has to be done by Christmas. So this is for my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on there. I will also show you the blanket I'm working on for my grandson that's on his way. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little triceratops. It's actually a fillet pattern, but I'm doing the popcorn stitch instead of the fillet because you don't want to use a fillet pattern with all those holes for a baby. So this is that. And at the bottom, I'm working on trees. I'm going to put trees underneath. This one, the Triceratops, is a Yarnspirations Crochet Crowd pattern. This is a fiber spider pattern. I'm doing it upside down though, so that was a whole thing. I ended up buying his pattern just so that I could make sure I actually had it right. So, and it's coming out really cute. So there's 4 trees underneath. There's 2 of these Triceratopses. And then this is that ombre Colorama Halo yarn. So that ombre effect. So that's why I started at the bottom, because I wanted to go the dark and then down. And when I'm halfway through that, then I'll take the light and we'll add it up here. And I'm going to do another fillet pattern that kind of looks like clouds up here. So it should be super cute, but it's taking freaking forever. It's because for me, it's 140 stitches across, or 138. So it's a big, crazy mess. Okay, back to the medical piece of this. I've been going to the doctors a lot. I think I have mentioned that I have migraines. Just to clarify, I have some level of migraine symptom every single day. It's just how severe. It has taken me out of the game a couple times this last month and been really rough. Well, I had to change neurologists, which is always a pain in the butt. Any of you that have had specialists and had to change them, because my husband's insurance is changing. So I had to change neurologists. So I'm actually going to the neurologist that my 16-year-old stepdaughter goes to. And he's a migraine specialist. So I'm like, oh, well, that could be really a good change. He takes the current insurance and he takes the new insurance, and that's and very close to home. Part of why I chose this particular neurologist. But honestly, the headache the migraine specialist is part of why I went there. Well, I went in, did the intake with, I'm not sure if he was a trainee, a PA, an MD, a doctor. I wasn't clear on what level of doctor he was, but he was youngish, so I don't think he was a full neurologist yet. Maybe. Anyway, did all the intake with him, and he goes, okay, I'll go talk to the doctor, and then he'll come in and talk to you. And then they both came back in. Anyway, he was gone for a while. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He comes back in, and he looks very worried, which I don't know if I've ever experienced a doctor looking worried with me. So that was a little concerning. So he said, tell me more about these migraines. Well, let me tell you all about them. On occasion, it's not all the time. Like I said, I have migraine symptoms of some level all the time. Light sensitivity, sound sensitivity, nausea, headache, whatever. Some combination thereof. Anyway, however, I have these very, very special migraines where it's as if there's a line drawn right down the middle of me, and my whole left side goes a little numb and weak. And so it's like I start walking funny. If it's really bad, I slur my words. Lately, when I get this particular kind of migraine, my left eye is kind of funky and not seeing properly, almost like it's stuck and like paralyzed, which is technically what this whole thing is. My left arm will just kind of like hang and not have the energy. I'm having one right now. I think on the tail end of it. So I feel the weakness up in here. So I feel the weakness, especially in my quad. Anyway, so I'm describing this, and he's like, well, how long does it go on for? I said, well, as little as, say, 12 hours, but usually 2 to 3 days. And he goes, okay, so I think you have something called hemiplegic migraines. And I said, oh, well, back in 2018, that's what they called it. He said, okay, well, now they have a genetic test for that. So we're going to see if that is. But he's like, if you have those, that's why you haven't responded to medication. Because, by the way, tried pretty much every daily medication under the sun. Nothing worked, which is why I had to medically retire from teaching. Anyway, then he said, please remember, okay, before the he said part, I'm just going to remind you all, this guy is a migraine specialist, and he's been doing it for years. He said, I've only ever had 2 other patients that have had these. I had no idea they were rare. So back in 2018, when at the hospital, because they had to check me for stroke, because that's what it looks like I'm having. It's not, it's a migraine, because it doesn't cross over. Just left side all the way. My face gets numb. See, I have a little bit of face numbness right there right now. Anyway, so I had no idea when they told me in 2018. They said it just like it was a normal thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's just a different kind of migraine. No big deal. But he said 2 patients out of probably the thousands and thousands of patients he's treated have had this. The genetic test is ordered. It's not confirmed yet, but I certainly seem to have it. So I looked it up, and it says this is an extremely rare form of migraine, and 0.002% of people in the world have these. So I figured that out. It's give or take 20,000 people in the whole wide world. It's like I won the lottery that I didn't want to win. Anyway, I'm doing well. I feel like I'm with the right doctor and everything's going to be fine. But, and good news is these don't tend to have any kind of permanent damage to your head or your neurological system. It's just something you have to be careful of, because since it can look like a stroke, you could think you're having a migraine. Sorry, the dog just bumped into the to the camera stand. You could think you're having a migraine and you're actually having a stroke. So first of all, I want to ask you all, have any of you ever heard of hemiplegic migraines? And then, do any of you out there have them? I'm curious. If there's somebody else out there that happens to be on the YouTubes that has these, I would love to know what you experience. So just remember, you don't actually pass out from your sister farting in your face. And have a beautiful holiday.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.